Alright guys, welcome back. In today's video we're going to be building this SNAP-TITE Ford Expedition. I'm going to say 1997. It doesn't actually say on the box. Specifically, it just says they were first introduced in 1997. So we're going to call it a 1997. Why not? This is skill level 1, so I hope I'm old enough to be able to build this. This is, for being a SNAP-TITE kit, actually, I mean, there's some weight to that. So let's go ahead and open the box and see what we get. Alright, so first thing on the top is the chrome bits. And we got ourselves a set of tires. Lovely. So we got some tinted back glass, pre-tinted, so I won't have to use my tester's tint this time. Looks like we've got a pre-assembled light bar already in the box, in the packaging. So we got some more glass. And here is where most of the weight is that big old body shell right there. Very nice. Looks like we got some metal axles and some screws on this one to hold everything together. I mean, except for an engine, this looks like it's pretty much all there, like every other model has. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick. I just want to see what the decal situation is mostly. Is this an actual decal? These look like these are stickers. Those are stick-em-ons. And then we've got a instruction manual. It's just about as heavy as the entire box of stuff here, with a lot of pages for a SNAP-TITE kit. I'm rather surprised. Mostly pictures and not really any words, so we should be able to get that one assembled no problem. Okay, so everything's out of the bags except for the light bar. I think I'm just going to go ahead and build this as a regular truck. I'm not going to bother with the police stickers because I'm sure they'll just come off eventually. I may change my mind as we go on, but I don't really think so. A lot of this stuff is just the police. We got the laptop there. That's kind of cool. On that tree at the laptop. So I'm going to be painting this black. As it all falls apart. And it's interesting that the interior pieces kind of have a little bit more of a flat texture to them as opposed to the body shell. But the body shell's got a lot of little mold things in it. So we're just going to go ahead and paint that. It'll look better anyway. And won't have to prime it because it's already black. So just give it a good washing. Clean it up, we'll be good to go. Depending on how lazy I feel, I may or may not put windows on the sides here. The back glass extends all the way up to the rear passenger door, which is nice. The windshield is not, this is where we're going to have to start getting some of our modeling skills out. The windshield does not have a pre-blackened trim on it, so we'll have to go ahead and paint or marker that. Probably a marker in my case. So that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to get this stuff painted, and we will be back. And oh, here's the bottom. Anybody wants to see? I might pick out some details there, like the transmission, the engine, the exhaust. But the rest of this will be black. So anyway, we'll come back in just a second with things out of paint. So get everything out of at least initial paint. Initial paint being the spray can. And I went with the a sand color, a light sand gray. Stone gray, I think they call it. Rust-Oleum calls it a stone gray. It's basically a really light gray. This is close to what I saw most pictures of this particular vehicle have. It seemed like most of them were kind of either a light gray or a tan interior, leather interior. So that's what I went with. Detail up the dash a little bit when I get to that point. The bottom here of the interior just went with the traditional black. Nothing terribly fancy on that. The body used forest green, or no, actually hunter green, Krylon hunter green, and it's not quite as glossy as I would like, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a buffing with that. I've got some cotton squares right here we'll use, and we'll see if we can bring out the shine on that a little bit. But I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much because it does kind of give it a sheen of like maybe an older paint job, not necessarily something that's worn through to the primer and doesn't necessarily have the clear coat peeling off, but the clear coat's got some age to it there. And I did clear coat this. I just couldn't get this to gloss up. I don't know why. That hunter green just did not want to gloss up either out of the can. Or the clear coat gave it more gloss, but it's still kind of dull. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to get this thing buffed up and start putting the interior together, and we will be back for maybe a final. I don't know yet. We'll see. So I think I spend more time cutting the parts out of the trees than I do actually assembling things. Yeah, it feels that way. So I got everything cut out of the trees here and got the body painted. The hunter green, I markered around for the black trim with one of these permanent markers here. Nothing fancy, something cheap, and it works really good. Kind of dig it in there just a little bit on the edge and just makes a nice clean line. The interior is Rust-Oleum stone gray, and these actually have really nice detail on them. So and it's a separate door panel like the other kits have, the regular kits have. The carpet, I'm just going to leave that black. And I got the underside here. I don't know if I'm going to bother picking anything out or not. I mean, you're not going to see it anyway. I did have the idea to lift this, put some big tires on it, but I couldn't really find any big tires that I liked that I had just laying around. So, we're just going to build as it came from the factory. Of course, we got the chrome bits right there. Tail lights, all that fun stuff. The back glass, side windows, this whole assembly here, I markered up. I already test fit, and it looks really good. So I think the last thing I got to do the windshield still. I got to marker that up. Jeez. Oh, got a lot of stuff to paint black. It was nice when that stuff's already done for you. So anyway, that's where I'm at so far, and we'll be back for the final assembly. Alrighty then, ladies and germs, here's what I've come up with for my SNAP-TITE Expedition build. Now, I went with trying to go with as much of a stock build as I could. Now, we still have some of the police lights there. We'll just call those fog lights. And, maybe this was a ex-police vehicle, and they just left those on there because they tend to do that sometimes. I colored these solid orange. I used that with, I did that with the, let me get the marker here, because that turned out actually really nice. These, I got these on clearance at Hobby Lobby, these Intensity Permanent Markers by Bic. That happens to be the red one. And here's the orange one, and that's what I used to color the inside of those lenses, and I think that looked really good. So probably went a little more than I should have, but I think it still looks good that way, so I like it. The axle shafts that hold the wheels on, I trimmed, well, probably about that much off each one. And because otherwise the wheels were going to stick out way, way, way too far. So those are basically as far in as they can go. I like the way that looks. I wanted to see what this was going to look like just out of the box build, and it's pretty good. The windows are tinted from, I could say factory tinted, but that'd be, I guess, Revell factory tint. This was markered with this cheap permanent marker I found at Menards for like 50 cents for a 4-pack, because they were on clearance after the school season clearance stuff there. So I did that on the trim. What's nice about this is it's a big marker, and it's one of these types of markers, but it digs in. You can dig it into that line and then just get a really nice clean edge on that. The window, there's a black trim around the windows again. I use this to just fill it in. On the inside, looks good. Good enough for looking on the shelf anyway. I think we're going to call this the Craigslist side, because there's something in the window on this side. I don't know what it is. The mirrors, I just did a Molotile pin on the inside of them just to get them done and back on. I also use a Molotile pin for the reverse lights, the Expedition emblem, the blue Ford oval. Again, I used that same marker as before, just the blue one. Did that on the rear. See more. It's a kind of more of a dry brushing. The tip was pretty dry on there, so I just across there, and so it wouldn't overdo it and just kind of look nasty. Sometimes happens. So I'm liking the way this turned out. I think it's it'll look good on the shelf. Unfortunately, the dash, let me just get that closer. The dash, as you can see, that little piece sticking out, that's for that radar detector. Unfortunately, there's a hole in the dash there, and unless you stick something in there, it just looks horrible. So I decided to just stick the little mount thing in there, leave the radar detector off itself, and we'll just call that a dash mount for cell phone, tablet, I don't know, hunting rifle. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, well, that's a mount for something. So I don't know. The interior is just that simple gray, nothing fancy. That's what a lot of them are. I did just kind of a basic black wash over the instrument cluster, nothing fancy. Don't really see it anyway, but it's there if you really wanted to look. So overall, this is a nice kit. It's goes together really nice. The mirrors just got nice pins that just snap in there. I wish other model kits, glue type ones, just had nice pins to put these mirrors in, because they're always fun to glue and then break off after a while. Dusting your models, oh, there went the mirror. So I wish they did that on all of them. But if you really want to do some kit bashing, this would be a nice rig to put some big tires on and get it up in the air. But this is the way it turns out of the box from Revell. And I like it. I mean, this is just a nice something to have on the shelf. I wanted something in that hunter green, and this was, well, it fit the bill. I almost did flat black. I was going to do flat black, but maybe I'll do another one of these down the road and try to do some kit bashing. Maybe we'll see if it'll fit onto another frame, or maybe I'll 3D print a frame. That's an idea for a future video. But for now, we're going to just say thank you very much for watching Nick's Collectible Creations and this short build video of the SNAP-TITE Revell Ford Expedition Police Edition, which I just built as factory stock as I could. I still have these parts left over. I'm going to definitely save that light bar for another project, because you never know if a Chevelle or something interesting, Corvette maybe, Camaro. I don't know. There's some interesting possibilities. A van. I don't know for that to be used on. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I've got all kinds of other model building videos that I've done and that are in the hopper. Of course, we got more layout, train videos, and things like that. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. It helps the channel. It helps everybody on YouTube. And yeah, I appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you very much for watching, as I've already said multiple times. And we will see you again right here on Nick's Collectible Creations. Peace out, everybody.